In this lesson, we will be learning how to manage an event. Event management is a great experience, regardless of whether it's your own party or a holiday. Managing an event is a tough job, but in the same time, it is also very fulfilling. In this lesson, Fatty Sarah will be teaching you how to be a great events manager, give some suggestions to troubleshoot problems, and with careful planning, avoid them altogether.
Let's start eating. Oh, I mean, learning. Hee hee. Number 1. Nailing down the basics. First, you have to figure out your purpose and objectives. You need to get these down in permanent ink in order to know what's the best size of venue, the correct budget, the nature of presentations, and what strategies to employ for your specific event. So what's your ideal outcome? What do you want to get done? Once you figured out what you're doing, think about why you're doing it. For example, I love celebrating because I love eating. Knowing my motivations can help me focus and eat more. Having a few objectives can also help align you in the direction you need to be going. You can't keep trying to reach a goal that hasn't been set. When you have $4,000 and you're aiming for $5,000, that goal can push you through to the finish line. Next, pick your date and time. You should always pick a date that is not too far into the future or coming up too soon. Your guests will either forget about it or already have plans. Ideally, you want to let your guests know about 2 weeks out. That gives them a good amount of time to not yet have plans and a good timeline for inviting them and reminding them. So have your event be a few weeks into the future minimum, if you can swing it. Now that you have an idea of what you're doing and when you're doing it, you can start thinking about venues and approaching potential ones with a date and things you'll need. Oh no, I'm falling. Ouch, that hurts. Where have I landed at? Looks like I found myself a good venue. Considering the kind of building, and the room is quite spacious. This is a perfect place. It is always best to sketch yourself a map of the area. This map will also be used as a battle plan to sketch and identify emergency exits. In most instances, approval are required for a bar. Sometimes it is also necessary to seek approval from local government. Next, choose the amount of people to invite, taking consideration on your budget and how much people your venue can handle. Many events may have latecomers, or extras such as children, partners and friends. Keep in mind that more guests means more crew needed. As it can be the biggest logistical problem, it's always wise to ensure there is adequate room for all people to move around at the site. In older establishments, they usually call the quantity of guests packs, so if working in a function center and you see packs 150, it means 150 guests are expected. Next, settle on a budget. Hopefully you have a few people you can lean on to gauge together how much money you'll need for this event. Are you paying any staff? Renting equipment and your venue? Settle on a number that seems doable and cater your plan to it. You don't want to wind up paying out of your own pockets. You may be in a situation where you can get sponsorships or donations, but if you don't foresee any more funds coming in, it's imperative that you cut corners when need be. You can always look for an alternative. Instead of hiring a photographer, go around and take photos yourself. Get creative where need be. Good event management on a big scale is about organizing people to be in charge of individual areas of the event and making sure everyone knows what the plan is. Therefore, you need to assemble a team and assign them duties as soon as possible, giving them preference if you can. And try to have a few people on standby. Last, nail down the agenda. No more planning can happen until you know just what's going to happen at your event. Are there games or presentations that should be scheduled? How much time will the guests need to eat? Work out a fairly detailed timeline for the day's activities. Always leave a little wiggle room. No event will be exactly as you planned, down to the minute. People run late, or speeches take longer than expected. So while you need a good idea of what's happening, understand that it's for organizational purposes and nothing is written in stone.
We have now finished with Event Management Part 1. See you soon in part 2.